Roll call for the City Council meeting of Wednesday, October 5th, 2016, 9 a.m. Mr. Mursky, Ms. Arrington, Mr. Brennan, Mr. Jones, Mr. Kwiatkowski, Mr. Winarski, Mr. Witherspoon.
Okay.
Make sure we got those.
Yeah. Just so the community out there knows, we have Councilman Kwiatkowski and Councilman Jones on speakerphone. Are you gentlemen here?
Yes, we are.
All right. Thank you. All right. So please stand for a moment of silent meditation or the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval of minutes for the meeting of Wednesday, September 21st, and bills for payment on September 30th and October 7th, 2016. Mrs. Arrington, Mr. Brennan, Mr. Jones, Mr. Kwiatkowski, Mr. Winarski, Mr. Witherspoon, Mr. Mursky.
Any requests for repository sales? Any requests for repository sales? Seeing none, we'll continue on with the meeting. Citizens to be heard. The first citizen to sign up is Crystal Torok. Crystal is not here, it appears. The next citizen that signed up is Miss Mary Lee.
Morning, you guys.
Morning.
Why I'm here is because there's a lot of issues regarding not just our Erie Police Department and discrimination that's been, a lot of people have been concerned regarding that. But there's a lot of things, especially the EMT bus company. I feel like that if a lot of people don't hear us today, I'm going to feel like that we need more shelters, especially during the winter, especially to our homeless people that have nowhere to go, especially on weekends, weekdays, and holidays. And I really hope that you guys can come together as a team and not give up on them, because they work so hard. And hopefully, if you guys hear me, I'm hoping I can get my point across. My one thing is that we need, especially more EMTA trolley stops, stop signs, and EMTA bunches, especially when it gets cold. And also a silent crossing guard for not just our passengers, not people that walk to and from work, but especially on an EMTA bus line for high school students. And honestly, and there's one thing I'm concerned about is our EMTA safety, especially with all our passengers and the drivers. There's been a lot of problems, and honestly, I feel like that, we need to come together and have a talk with them and get things resolved. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens to be heard?
Morning, Council.
Good morning.
Morning. I got a few issues, you know that. You'll see me down here. This assistant DA grabbing this officer's gun. They didn't even have no handcuffs on him. I'm walking down 90, going fishing, ain't bothering nobody. I'm getting so I don't even like people. I'm not bothering nobody. That's why I like to be by myself. Because, I don't know, something going on out there that y'all don't know nothing about. Something about to happen. This guy grabs the gun. He's not even handcuffed. I'm walking down 90. They handcuff me. And you're going to tell me that young Bozeman boy grabbed that cop's gun? You're out of your cotton-picking head because your mind has taken leave. can't tell me. You show me where he grabbed that gun or tried to grab a gun. You people are sick in the head if you believe that. Let the policeman put a handcuffs on you and see. What can you do? And you seem to not be even concerned about it. You should be. This is a bad president. It's bad. I don't understand y'all. Ain't nobody up there saying nothing about it. This is being swept under the rug. This is the DA, assistant DA. Look, I thought the law applied to everybody. But the law seemed to be thinking that they're above the law. But God will take care of all things in this time, and he'll handle y'all. Believe me when I tell you, y'all too. Nobody's above the law, especially God's law. When you take that oath, you're taking it to God. You're not taking it to me. I don't understand you people. There's no justice for us. There should be justice for everybody. There's no justice for us. They didn't even put handcuffs on this guy. And he tried to grab their gun. They said he did. But they put handcuffs on me, and I wasn't bothering nobody. I was just going fishing. I've been fishing, going down there fishing for over 50 years. That's the first time. A trooper would come along and say, get off the lane. I'd go down over the hill. I don't know. Y'all better examine yourselves because you're not in the right mindset. Joe is not going to die for you. You're going to die for you. I promise you that. You're dying from the moment you're born. But y'all don't know that. You think you're going to live forever. You're not going to live forever. You're going to die. You come here to die. I'd rather be dead than to be treated like that. I'd rather for you to go on and shoot me. Don't treat me any kind of way. God has blessed me to get as old as I am. Y'all gonna take them other few years away from me, mistreat me, because the way you treat somebody, their body reacts to it. I'm no doctor, nothing, but I know that. Y'all better get a different mindset. Joe ain't God. Y'all think he is. Like a lot of people think Trump is God. Anybody vote for Trump got to be out of their cotton picking head.
Please.
You got to be a
Can't
nut
talk about
to vote
politics.
for Trump because you're going to have a war.
We can't talk about politics at the podium, please.
Trump is everything. I'm not talking about politics. Not at all. I'm just making a statement. Okay. I have the right of freedom to speak to say that. So please don't interrupt me when I'm preaching good.
I apologize. I apologize.
I don't know a lot of things, but I do know a few. I might look dumb, but I'm not as dumb as I look.
I don't think you're dumb at all.
Some people think I am. Thank you. Is that my time up?
I was going to give you a couple extra
Oh,
seconds.
thank you.
Because I interrupted.
And I want to say this about our kids, too, about all those taxes we're paying. Our kids shouldn't be held hostage down there in Harrisburg. Our kids are being held hostage. This is a political thing, and it don't make sense. It don't make sense, and you know that. Now we got to pay extra money for money that they got to borrow.
All right.
Y'all should look into that. Really, you should, because somebody, I know what it's all about. Somebody's getting something under the table. Y'all know. You're not stupid.
Thank you.
But you know, I promise you.
Thank you.
God's going to take care of this in His time. Y'all think I don't know what I'm talking about. You think that
Thank you.
Shooting hot air, but I'm not.
Thank you.
I'm trying to tell you.
Any other citizens to be heard?
I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Come on up.
Greetings and
Good morning.
salutations.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I always try to come by and give some woo-woo speech about, like maybe things we look forward to better times.
Can I have your name and address for the record,
Oh, yeah,
please?
that's right. Sorry. My name is Joshua Rizzo. Address is 413 West 5th Street, Apartment 1. So, anyways, I've been trying to do my part in the community, like with presenting my own particular passions, just trying to be there for the people that I encounter throughout my daily life, every single day. I try to bring my double S game, not my A game. Try to be double S here. See if I can't be a good influence, get the ball rolling in a beneficial direction, see what we can do, and. I try to put some puzzle pieces together, and I believe that great minds are meeting with able bodies and having spirited debates on tomorrow's harmonies. And I believe our today's disharmonic configurations are caused by parasitic bacteria, which has caused a few people at the very, very, very top that are completely unseen to become great psychological manipulators to the point where they can structure the lives of an entire society into a disharmonic configuration. So I believe we should not have to be distracted by the dictates of these psychological manipulators due to them being contaminated by these parasitic bacteria. So I just want to try to deprogram some things about that, which I do not consent to mass propaganda or their war-based industrial complexes or their family crest-based government systems or the rule of the privileged few. And I revoke all contracts with a corporate-run government. I do not consent to any form of corporate-run government that harvests energy from its people. I do not consent to the system of domination and control. I revoke all spiritual contracts with the Federal Reserve families. I revoke all rights, assumptions, and responsibilities with every member of the Federal Reserve and exchange for value systems. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I also urge all schools to change homework into something more functional, like your homework for today is to clean your room or bond with your families or go out into the world and try to be of your own influence. Show your own divine light to the world. Something, yeah, okay.
Thank you. Any other citizens to be heard? Any other citizens to be heard? Seeing none, we'll continue on with the meeting. But before we do that, I do want to introduce Mrs. Paul. She's our deputy clerk, and she's filling in today here in the chambers. And also we'd like to introduce Attorney Strasser to our solicitor's office. And so we welcome him as well. Mrs. Paul?
Okay, this takes us to new business, Mr. President.
Say that? What did you say?
New business?
New business, yep.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to move the balance.
So moved. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Brennan.
Okay, move.
Any separations?
Number one, under new business.
Number one. Do you want the Burke on that, or the number two, the Gannon one?
Who's that? Two, where'd you get that? Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, number two, my side. My bad.
Okay, number two, not number one. Any other separations? Seeing none, we'll vote on the balance of the agenda.
Moving on the balance of the agenda, Mrs. Arrington, Mr. Brennan, Mr. Jones, Mr. Kwiatkowski, Mr. Winarski, Mr. Witherspoon, Mr. Mursky.
Number two, we should let.
No, if they want to. All right, number 2, you want to, yeah, but please read it.
Resolved by the Council of the City of Erie that the proper city officials hereby resolve that the project, the issuance of the bonds, and the undertaking and completion by the City of Erie Higher Education Building Authority of all other matters necessary or convenient for the conclusion of the project and the financing of said project by the authority is approved, and is hereby declared that the said project is desirable for the health, safety, and welfare of the people in the area served by Gannon University in accordance with the attached Gannon University project.
Attorney Alberstadt, do you mind coming to the podium? Would you just briefly explain kind of what you explained in the caucus room just for the community?
Certainly. Gannon University is doing a not-to-exceed $32 million tax-exempt bond issue through the City of Erie Higher Education Building Authority. That is purely conduit financing. It creates no liability for either the authority or the City of Erie. But when the project to be financed involves either educational or healthcare facilities, it is required that the municipality that sponsored the authority, in this case the City of Erie, approve the project as being in the best interests of the health, safety, and welfare of the community. The project itself, about half of the money is to refund some 2007 bonds to achieve interest rate savings, and the balance of the money is for the renovations to the university's Nash Library facilities.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
Mr. President,
Mr. Witherspoon.
just for the two individuals that stopped me this morning around 6 a.m., they brought this question up, and you did answer. So my main concern, initially I was going to vote no, but you did explain in caucus that if for some reason Gannon defaults, we, the city, will not be liable to pay that back. Am I correct?
That is correct.
All right. Mr. President, with that, I will vote yes.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Attorney Alberstadt. We'll call for the question. Roll call vote.
For the vote on number 2, Mrs. Arrington, Mr. Brennan, Mr. Jones, Mr. Kwiatkowski, Mr. Winarski, Mr. Witherspoon, Mr. Mursky.
Okay, and that takes us to committee reports. I'd like to thank Mr. Kwiatkowski and Mr. Jones for joining us today. We appreciate you being here, and I hope you learn a lot and bring it back from League of Cities.
Tell you what, maybe we should be gone more often. Those meetings go pretty fast.
No comment.
I second that.
Mr. Witherspoon seconded that. Thank you, guys. And that'll take us to committee reports. Mrs. Arrington.
No committee report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mr. Winarski.
Very, very brief. Finance meeting after our council meeting this morning. We are also going to meet with our new police chief, Dacus, and Friday is our EMTA hearing in front of Judge Cunningham. Maybe this saga is finally going to come to an end here, but we'll see how all that goes, and everybody have a good couple weeks.
Mr. Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple of items I just wanted to note here. I was asked to join a panel discussion on food access. It's going to be held at Penn State Behrend. You know, a very important discussion in Erie lately with a lot of the issues we're having, a lot of markets that either have left or some are even developing, so we'll see about that. But the meeting is, the panel discussion is October 12th at 5 p.m. That's next Wednesday at Metzger Hall. Representatives from Second Harvest Food Bank, Erie Downtown Partnership will be on the panel. Again, it's open to the public, and we're talking about all the challenges that our city faces with food access, impact on our city. So I'll definitely bring that back to council and see what I learned from that. Regarding the urban farming initiative that we discussed in the past at past council meetings, there's a meeting tomorrow. I'm meeting with Gannon University representatives, their environmental group there. Also, Erie redevelopment representatives, City of Erie zoning representatives, to talk about the initiative to make revisions to the zoning regs regarding this urban farming. So we'll continue that discussion and hopefully bring something back to council. And I'll report back to council on the any new initiatives or any new language that we want to add or propose to our zoning ordinance. As regards to EMTA, I just do want to mention that discussions by some council members have continued for a possible compromise. There was a revised resolution, as was noted in the paper today. This was forwarded to all council members just yesterday, so there hasn't been really any discussion or review of that. So, of course, nothing's on the agenda today, but we'll see what happens, and we'll hopefully hope for the best and do what's best for the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. Mr. Witherspoon.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report, sir.
All right. Just a few things. In the caucus room, we met with Chris Groner from our Economic Development Office, and we got a very good report that many businesses are looking to come to the Erie area, to the city of Erie, rather, to bring significant jobs, over 300 jobs. Right now, we're working with our partners in Harrisburg at the State of Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, DCED, to bring in grants to help assist those businesses with facade improvements and infrastructure improvements so that we can get Erie working. And these are high-paying jobs, both in the technology field and in the manufacturing sector, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more about those in the future. With that, that concludes my report. Yes, Mr. Witherspoon.
I just wanted to mention one thing that I forgot. I want to thank publicly the PIAA Erie basketball chapter. They have donated 2 basketball rims, the breakaways, for the summer league, and we really appreciate that. And we have 2 courts, 4, but we'll get the money for the other 2. But I want to thank them very much for that publicly.
All right, thank you. And with that, Ms. Stankiewicz, Controller?
No report.
No report. And Administration?
No report.
All right, and with that, this meeting is adjourned.
City Council adjourned at 9:28.
That's pretty good.
Mr. Mirsky, Mrs. Arrington, Mr. Brennan, Mr. Jones, Mr. Koski, Mr. Winarski,